We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday gathering of Awakening Together. I was listening to Be Still and Know That I Am God. I was in calm and for about all morning ready to do my sermon, and I had no internet when I finally turned my computer on with 9 minutes to go. And here we go again. I'm in the car. Be still and know that I am God. Hi, everybody. I just want to welcome everybody again. At this time, I love the song. I love the song. Hello, everybody, again. We have a statement of purpose. And our statement of purpose is, we are an assembly of equals, joined in common purpose, awakening to one true self, with an appearance of many faiths and many cultures and many symbols. We seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. Wow. That's awesome. Many cultures and many symbols. Our core values. I picked core value 1 today. We have 5 core values to pick from, if you're new. And they are, wow, they are divinely given to us. They are our tablets. Core value 1 is what's speaking to me this week. And it's, we trust everyone is led by unique inner guidance to one experience called awakening, which is the realization of one true self. We live this value by supporting one another on different paths of awakening. Things happening. That's similar that's going on today. But let's just settle in. I'd like to invite the presence in. And I hope my internet is not shoddy. And I hope I don't get interrupted. Okay. Good morning, Father. What are you making for me today? I have gauntlets every time I have to do this, to go through. But right now, at this present moment, we are gathered here together for our Sunday gathering to experience our oneness as self and knowing no other, as different only as self. This singleness of purpose, purposing and proposing, pointing to our true aspiration, to know thyself as you, expressing our unconditional, navigating through our love from one another, for one another, and beyond all ideas, knowing no opposite, knowing no other love than loving itself, beyond worldly thoughts, returning to in this trying worldly time where life and light should not quarrel, and remembering what needs to be as we experienced trying times as a nation, a world. So, as always, I would like to turn this gathering over to the Holy Spirit, that He may be in charge of all our thoughts, all our feelings, and our words, that we remember our true identity and beyond all form, all ideas, as we recognize these milestones, their purpose. So now we can experience life beyond and before the witnesser, before manifestation, swimming in the vastness of ultimate optimism. Amen. Hi, everybody. I hope I'm not going in and out. Everybody knows I'm an AA, I'm a 12-stepper, and they brought me to the ACIM as I was searching for an 11th step, is to seek a spiritual practice, and I found the Course in Miracles. My sponsee brought me here through her inquiry and how, and my let go of whatever she wanted to learn, but that's another story. And she wanted more of awakening together, more of Regina, more of NTI. And I'm here, and I'm very grateful for it. But coming to AA, I was an object thinker. The basic, I'm an alcoholic. I'm not my alcoholism. But I thought, you're so into it that you become it. On the flip side of that coin, I was taught that there was a God and I wasn't it. And the teaching was God as I understand Him. Through the purifications of the 12 steps and A Course in Miracles and the evolution of forgiveness always coming through me, until forgiveness wasn't necessary, to have that vision with the same principle that I am an alcoholic and I'm not my alcoholism. I am as God created me. So God, as I don't understand Him, was born from the God as I understand Him, because as I understood God, I didn't understand Him, because there's so much more that I'm incapable of understanding. And that has a lot to do with this message today. I don't understand Him as I focused on who am I, and be still and know I am God. Wednesday night, I have a show called A Lot to Say About Nothing. And this homily will be a spin-off from that. And I'm going to start it off with, if you listen to my show, it's just the applying object and subject thinking. Wednesday is my travel day to Boston. And for that day, in most days when I start, I was traveling, I was resting in that state of exquisite silence, prior to words, no opinions, no thought, not the concept of no thought. I mean, nothing. No traces of my personality, concepts of self. I was dwelling in that space and not in the world. The car knew the way. You've all been there. My senses were alert to play their part. And that part of me that was driving had it all under control. But I was somewhere else. And I was in that for almost half my ride. And then the world rang my bell. Today's the 24th, Billy. You've been down the Cape, in vacationing for a week. This is a plug for the I Am Bad Belief retreat that's coming up on the 6th. So the 24th, I'm driving along and it's the 24th. You've got a Bank America payment to pay. Are you good with that? And tomorrow's the 25th. My God, you've been away for so long. You've got a Home Depot bill to pay, your car payments due. Oh man, and 27th. You got your Costco card is due. You got tenants that want to break their lease. You got condo meetings. And here it is. Okay. Here it is. That moment of truth where the quality of life is on the line. Who am I? Panic? No way. Not even a choice. How do I stabilize myself? Am I going to stabilize myself from object thinking and becoming really good at things and being a victim and not getting things done and living in the manifest of, look at me now, I'm in a car doing my homily. Oh, it's so comical. Anyway, the I am bad belief was so available. The guilt, and I've come to know that, that but do I wake up now? Do I wake up? Or should I say, am I going to sleep? Am I going to apologize that by waking up already? Am I waking up apologizing that, geez, I had a wonderful week on the Cape? Am I going to apologize of who I am? The starting point of thought, again, shame or any other thought that's telling me who I'm not. This belief, like all beliefs, then they're all beliefs, whether they're good beliefs or bad beliefs, gather more thoughts, gather more evidence. And so finding the stabilizing force from vibrating in the I am good and I know it. I am good and I know it. And I become it. This, living in this new mantra of manifest consciousness. I'm good and I know it. Wait a minute. Let's pull back a second. Do I still stabilize myself from where my words come from? Let's go back and let's have a little history lesson here. At one time in the duality purification process, in an early recovery, I always watched my starting point of thought always move from self-centeredness to God-centeredness. Little by slow, I watched this tiny click, as I was, I would journal. I had trash bags of journaling. It was morning pages from The Artist Way. I was doing The Artist Way. I was just journaling. I just wanted to come from the well from within, and I did not want to listen to the chattering monkeys in my head. And I would journal, and so this purification process, and as I started to move to God-centeredness, I saw my whole world change. I mean, nothing really changed except my ideas about the world were changing. So, and now I'm peopling it with, the whole, they're doing the same, everybody's doing the same thing because, let's not forget that there's, is it true that there is no other? Okay. Now let's not forget that.
Hey, everybody. So Billy had asked me to read from the 7 Steps of Awakening. It's quote 1521, and it's a short conversation between Nisargadatta Maharaj and a questioner. So it's short, so I'm going to read it twice. Maharaj says, "Your own self is your ultimate teacher. The outer teacher is merely a milestone. It is only your inner teacher that will walk with you to the goal, for he is the goal." The questioner says, "The inner teacher is not easily reached." The Maharaj says, "Since he is in you and with you, the difficulty cannot be serious. Look within and you will find him." The questioner says, "When I look within, I find sensations and perceptions, thoughts and feelings, desires and fears, memories and expectations. I am immersed in this cloud and see nothing else." So Maharaj says, "That which sees all this, and the nothing too, is the inner teacher. He alone is. All else only appears to be. He is your own self, your hope and assurance of freedom. Find him and cling to him, and you will be saved and safe." Second verse, same as the first. All right, Maharaj goes. Hey, Billy, I'm reading the reading for the second time, okay? Maharaj says, "Your own self is your ultimate teacher. The outer teacher is merely a milestone. It is only your inner teacher that will walk with you to the goal, for he is the goal." The questioner says, "The inner teacher is not easily reached." Maharaj says, "Since he is in you and with you, the difficulty cannot be serious. Look within and you will find him." The questioner says, "When I look within, I find sensations and perceptions, thoughts and feelings, desires and fears, memories and expectations. I am immersed in this cloud and see nothing else." Maharaj replies, "That which sees all this, and the nothing too, is the inner teacher. He alone is. All else only appears to be. He is your own self, your hope and assurance of freedom. Find him and cling to him, and you will be saved and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Meg. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I guess in my razzle dazzle, I forgot to get the reading done, huh? Anyway, you know, there's a lot of razzle dazzle going on right now. And, you know, so I was getting back to this, you know, this Maharaj thing too. And, you know, this purification process and watching the world change as I started to purify, you know, and, you know, I saw the whole world change. And what is the duality? And what is the duality purification process? To me, it's taken the emotional charge out of both sides, the favorable and not favorable, the good and the bad. And we'll come back to this. You know, I became an addict the same way. My consciousness wanted to know the truth of who I am because I was an object thinker. You know, I became a coin flipper and a great perceiver of manifest consciousness. I had a streak of 37 years of winning everything I ever did, one happy dream after another, not knowing anything about A Course in Miracles or anything like that, but manifesting luck, manifesting what I thought was good for me, you know. And then I get to AA and they tell me that you don't know what's good for you. And, you know, and so let's get back to that Wednesday when I was driving into Boston from my Cape home. And is there enough money to pay my bills? And I'm thinking, you know, am I going to be an object thinker here? Am I going to deny? Or if let's say I don't have the money, I can't move money around to pay my bills. I mean, we all do it. And am I going to deny what I might think is a happy dream, a nightmare? And am I going to deny the universe the ability to show me the unfolding of contrast, adversity, the unfolding of adversity, and what miracles can come from that? Can I rest in God in its totality? You know, can I be happy not having a happy dream? Yeah. Am I secretly rooting for heads when I flip the coin? Am I entirely ready to have God take all of me? Do I really speak to God? Do I speak to God? If my life depended on it, am I going to flip it? Am I going to flip my coin again? I mean, I came to all these realizations. I mean, I was a coin flipper. You know, there are some days I shouldn't make my bed and be okay with it because I am going to trust I need to get back to that nakedness, that emptiness, you know, the new the fresh newborn feeling that's inside of me that, okay, you can have all of me. To rediscover my innocence as a child. And it's okay. I don't have to wear the face of shame. You know, to rediscover that innocence, which allows me to live in that oneness, that, that to vibrate in it. And yeah, I messed up today in the world, but I didn't really mess up. There's a lesson here. I'm going to learn a lesson, and obviously someone else is going to learn a lesson. You prepare for that sacred embrace, And nakedness requires that act of faith in love, and it's waiting for us, unlearning everything, emptiness, disrobing my memory, melting down my masks, my identities. Am I perfect? Do I have to come across as perfect today? I'm not. I'm all over the place. Okay. But I think you feel my intent. I want to deliver today. I want to deliver my message. And I have a lot more to go. Everything, all the tools that worked for me, losing control of my being, unmapping my roads. God, you can have all of me because the light has come. I love that course lesson, the light has come. Unbaptizing my springs, gutting my passions. God, zero. You have all of me with no agenda, no opinion. So, this ability to see contrast and to see that I can see where I can see object thinking and I can see my subject thinking. But the real truth of who I am is the one aware that's watching, not watching the subject and the puppet master of what kind of day he's going to have and choosing that day. It's the awareness of that is my trueness. And to see and to have that vision, to hold that vision of both, where because you can hold both, one infiltrates the other. The bad and the good, because there is no bad, everything is moving us to a higher vibration. To have all, to rest in that gentle and loving place, with no emotional charge, and becoming aware of this knowledge. My awareness watches this knowledge, and I watch it return to its true nature, just as its source. So, we're in these trying times, and it's great. We can practice this stuff in the room right now, and we've got a whole world and a bipolar world going on, political sides that can't even talk to each other. We got black and white, we got looting, we got going on, but we just remember that there is no other. This is a Bhagavad Gita going on, and that's another great MPP course. This is what goes on in the mind. You imagine, this is in the Bhagavad Gita, the Arjuna has to fight his relatives, his blood. Now, we've all done that in words and emotions. Okay. But it's so real. And we, as an Awakening Together group, we get to see the oneness in all of us, in everything that's going on in the political arena, and the mask and no mask people. I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, I'm just to be comical about it. We got people that that are swearing by the mask, and you got other people that are saying we're being cooked in a slow warm water, like a frog that doesn't know it's going to come to a boil. It's just enjoying. It's got the mask. We got our masks on, and we're shuffling our feet to our gas chambers to be vaccinated. The emotional whatever. I mean, this is. But let's stand above. There's both sides. There's both sides going on here, and we in Awakening Together are. Who am I? I see both sides. Can I let one infiltrate the other? We're tearing down statues. It's funny. We're throwing away books. The Course tells us to throw the book away. We're tearing down statues of bigotry and stuff like that. And, I grew up in a very black world. Okay. I was a basketball player, and I played in leagues in Boston. And let me see if I can pull this up. I played in leagues in Boston, and where I was the only white player in the whole gymnasium. And I lived in I lived in the innocence of, I grew up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and we had melting pots of cultures all over, and we did not see a racial divide. We all lived together, and I was blessed by that. But when my mom got sick, it was a black family that took me in and did the necessities for me. Okay. And because of my sports and stuff like that, I can remember this, it was a night in 1968, and we were playing, I was in this league, this all black league, and my teammates, we would come by the house, in the car, and we'd all drive in a couple of cars together, and the night before Martin Luther King got assassinated. And here I am, like my team comes by the house, and they said, "Billy, we think it's better for you not to come tonight. I mean, we need you, all that, but we think it's better for you not to come tonight." And I said, "But aren't we going to go to the concert afterwards?" Not Marvin Gaye. James Brown was playing in Boston, and he was putting on a concert in Boston. And can you guys still hear me? I hope. I can't see you guys.
You're good, Billy.
Thank you. And I want to read an article to you, okay, from the Boston paper. On the morning after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, city officials of Boston, Massachusetts, were scrambling to prepare for an expected second straight night of violent unrest. Similar preparations were being made in cities across America, including the nation's capital, where armed units of regular Army patrol outside the White House and the U.S. Capitol following the President Johnson's state of emergency declaration. But Boston would be nearly alone among America's major cities in remaining quiet and calm. That turbulent Friday night, thanks in part to one of the least quiet and calm musical performers of all time, on the night of April 5th, 1968, James Brown kept the peace in Boston by sheer force of his music and his personal charisma. Brown's appearance that night at Boston Garden had been scheduled for months, but it nearly didn't happen. Following a long night of uprising and fires in the predominantly black Roxbury and South End sections of the city, Boston's young mayor Kevin White gave serious considerations to canceling an event that some fear would bring the same kind of violence into the city's center. The racial component of those fears was very much on the surface of a city in which school integration and mandatory busing had played a major role in the recent mayoral election. Mayor White faced a political impossible choice: anger Black Bostonians by canceling Brown's concert over transparently racial fears, or antagonizing the law and order crowd by simply ignoring those fears. The idea that resolved the mayor's dilemma came from a young African-American city councilman named Tom, that the concert would go on, but finding a way to mount a free live broadcast of the show in the hopes of keeping most Bostonians home in front of their TV sets. And this goes on. And, and Brown was upset that he wasn't going to get the gate from the 60,000 from the Boston Garden that night, but there was compensation made. But the crowd rushed the stage, and the white policemen were trying to push back the crowd. Similar situation that's going on today. And Brown urged the cops to stand down, to back away from the stage. And then he addressed the crowd. He said, wait a minute. Now wait, Brown said. Step down. Now be a gentleman. Now I ask the police to step back because I think I can get some respect from my own people. Brown successfully restored law and order. That night, it was a great night. I was disappointed I couldn't go live to the concert. I was disappointed that I couldn't play in my game. I didn't see this stuff. I was 18 years old. Okay, but that family that took me in, he was a minister, and he was also a professional man. And he said to me just recently, I'm upset that they're tearing down that Robert E. Lee statue. You know that I used to go visit that. You know me, Billy. I used to take my 4 kids to visit that, to show how far we've come. That meant something to me. So there's we know there's pros and cons of what statues mean to people, but there is this new paradigm happening that we're tearing down the statues. This object thinking. We're tearing down statues, and it's not neither right nor wrong. It's just that there's a change coming, and it's happening. And there's we're throwing away our altars, our books, the symbolisms of our favorite statues that led us to truth, that led us to our own survivals. We are canceling out all the meanings of bad and good in our lives. We get to discover our own hierarchy in books. I once said it, that I could never throw this. If I had to live on an island by myself, there's one book I would have to have with me. Okay. And because of Awakening Together, I've got to find that place that holds it all. These books and statues, opinions and agendas, the Buddha statues, the Jesus statues, the Mary in the half shells, whatever they mean to people, God doesn't see a difference, tearing them down or protecting them. All I know is God always wins, and the universe is purifying itself to create a new Jerusalem. You know, this U.S. is purifying itself right now. You know, to hold both. And when we hold both, I mean, I can see, we have been trained to see both sides of the argument. And it's even beyond that. Because they merge. One becomes but then they merge, the electricity happens, and that God takes that last step and then beyond, and you see that it doesn't even matter, because this is going to happen, and the divine and the sacred are in charge, and there is a tearing down, and it's messy. It's really messy. You know, I mean, you know, we've got mayors apologizing for having the police stop the looting, and you know that you know, on one side the guys are saying, geez, they don't even know what they're saying. The water's getting warm. Okay, it's almost come to a boil, and then we got the other side that they still don't see our point. They don't get it. This stuff has to stop. But we, as a mind, that we only see one. There is no other self. Is that true? There is no other self. Can we hold that vibration? Can we live that? And know that we are that? This Bhagavad Gita is in front of us. And everyone that's playing a part is you. Is you. And I really have come to know that, and to live in that, and deliver this message today. Thanks for listening. I want to remind everyone that Awakening Together is supported by our donations, and we'll put a link in the room if you feel called to donate, or if you're listening and you can't, you can visit on our website at awakeningtogether.org/donate. And I guess I can open it up, or I can keep going. Okay. Anybody? I can't see anything. I am so challenged. Anybody has anything to say? You know, we can talk about, we can be sober in the rooms, and we can be awake. We can talk about awakening in the rooms, but to apply this vision that's given to us in our life, and to become that, and to see that, and to see the ability to see both sides, and to subject, object, and the awareness of that hovers over even the seer, trying to see the seer. Can you see the seer? No. You know, there's a new door opens. A new door opens in this backward walking that yeah, my senses are taking care of the world. My automatic pilot, my car drives. And yeah, and then every now and then, oh yeah, Billy, it's the 24th. You got a bunch of bills that you got to come up. I'm very grateful. I had a great upbringing, and I had a lot of adversity, and I was shown how to make lemonade out of a lot of things, all the lemons. And now it's time to throw all that away. Okay, everyone, it was great to be here today. Anybody have anything to say? There's a couple minutes here.
I have something to say.
Ruby, that's great to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, that was a beautiful message. And the one thing that stood out for me was, tearing down those statues can actually be someone's liberation, but keeping it up can also be someone's freedom. So that was just a wonderful contrast. And it just opened my heart to understand that there's one situation, everything is right. Everything is perfect. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. I knew you'd get that, and it's God is just there's so much more, and we can expect more all the time. It's just so much more, and then seeing both. Anybody else have anything?
Billy?
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
I don't know what happened to my picture. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that two things really. In the beginning, you said something that I've heard you say before that always strikes me. I am good and I know it. And you started with that. And then at the end, you brought it around to all of me. That everyone is playing a part, is me. And I want all of me. And it's such a beautiful message. It's really touching my heart that anything else is separating. If I separate myself from another, I'm separating myself from me. And just
Oh, come on.
the way you said really gave me that feeling like, oh my God, I want all of me. Every little piece, no matter what it looks like, I want all of it. So I just wanted to thank you because it's touched my heart. So thank you, Billy.
Thanks, Donna. Donna and I did a hypnotism class together. We have certified hypnotists. And we have fun with that. And Donna just lost her dog. And the thing about my dog, when I lost my dog, I lost that part of me that I was when I was with that dog. And that's what I missed the most when I was with my dog. The way he made me act, the way I talked to him, and how I talked to the unconditional. Oh God, it was beautiful. It all of me, man. It's all of me. I get it. It's awesome stuff. And I know it's a hard time. Anyway, anybody else have anything to say?
I'll say something. I just came in, Billy, at the tail end.
Yeah.
And the last thing, I had a meeting this morning with a new teacher that's teaching a lot of us, Helen Hamilton.
Yeah,
and she says the last thing that you get when you completely awaken is that the ego and the self are one. And that was something, being a course person from years ago, that really now that doesn't mean you want the thinking mind.
Right.
But when you make it inclusive and you don't reject and resist it, it's all good. And my path started with my son's addiction. He had a drug addiction for 20 years. And that'll tear a mother apart for sure. I mean, some just suffer and I just had to find God. That was my whole thing. And I have to say, I don't know how many people have had to deal with addiction, but it's just one of the ways. One thing about addiction is it tells the truth. you know, that life here and the ego can be very painful,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was my gift. You know, I never thought I'd say that. He's still here. He's actually 3 years doing well now.
That's
But,
awesome.
you know, I was in torture from it. And yet I listened to you and Meg and I'm like, you know, it doesn't matter whether he gets into this or not. He's still the self. Whether
Yep.
he is, you know, but he's doing well. He's not in the 12 steps. That was not his path. It was mine.
Mm-hmm.
I started there. So when I hear you, I'm like so inspired by, because I know how much suffering it takes in addiction, you know, but we're all addicted. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's what nobody realizes. Like they keep saying at meetings, you're there for your loved one. That's just not true.
Right.
You're there for the one self to get to. So I think you're beautiful, and I'm going to listen to this after this afternoon because you inspire me. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Thank you very much. Well, Dawn, I think we turn it over to the next page, right?
Sounds good. Thank you for watching. This was our weekly gathering that we hold online. For more information, you can visit our website at awakening-together.org, or you can subscribe to our Awakening Together channel and click the bell for more notifications when we post our weekly gatherings. Thank you again for watching.